When you have the right guide, history comes alive. And here at the Antique Car Museum of Iowa, that's what happens. They don't just preserve vehicles, but their history as well. From an early hybrid dating back to 1915 to one of only 6 remaining cars made by Maytag, there is a treasure around every corner. Oh yeah. Join us for an insider's look into the cars that are at the heart of automotive history.
Hey, welcome back to LoveNesters. We are at the Antique Automobile Museum of Iowa.
We are so looking forward to sharing it with all of you. We have a special guest. Tom is going to be joining us and showing us all about these automobiles.
Thanks for being here.
This middle one is a Sears and Roebuck. You ordered it out of the catalog. And I took the floorboard out of it so you could see the engine. They all have a little air-cooled 2-cylinder engine.
This might be the very first Sears car that we've come across.
There aren't too many.
That's just crazy. You could order it out of the catalog.
And there wasn't any truck transportation, so it was left at the railroad depot. You had to go get it. It came in a crate, but all you had to do was put the wheels on it and bring your own gasoline, and then you could drive it home. These were handmade and predates the assembly line, so their production number for this year, 1899, was just 38 cars. But it's a motor buggy, and it has everything those don't have, like rubber tires, fenders, and a top. And it's a 2-cylinder engine like those, but it's huge. It's too big to be air-cooled, so it's water-cooled, but nobody knew what a radiator would look like that. So it looks like a heat exchanger, and it only works when you're moving. There weren't any horns yet, so you got a bell.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for doing that.
But the car's so loud you can't hear it anyway. The guy who built these, his name was Alan Brush, and he's trying to make cars affordable. So both the axles, the frame, well, the whole car is made out of wood, except for the fenders and the hood. Wood was cheaper than steel. Now it's the other way around.
Oh my gosh.
And it belonged to those two boys in the photo, the Abernathy brothers. They were 10 and 6 years old, and they drove it from New York to Oklahoma City in 1910.
On purpose? Like their parents knew they were doing it?
Yep, on purpose.
What a different time.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the attitude they had.
And it took them 23 days to get home. And they said they ate mostly rabbits, but whatever they could shoot. And actually, I had this running a couple months ago. I found one of the boys' holsters under the seat.
Oh my God.
Oh, is that cool?
Well, that's history. $19.10.
Okay,
She's attracted to the horn.
I do love a horn. Here we go.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, that's a lower. It's like a goose.
Kind of reminds me of you.
Now this is a pretty car. You don't see a lot of blue ones.
No, this is a Galloway, and it's a motor wagon. These were made in Waterloo, Iowa. Yeah. And then he only made these for 4 years, though. But he had a catalog which sold everything in the world you could ever want for your farm or your home. He had chicken brooders and cream separators, kitchen toasters, work gloves, utensils, anything you wanted. He was a very, very industrious entrepreneur. I've never read anything like the life he had.
Does he move? Is he articulated or?
Yeah, it just spins in the wind.
Oh my gosh.
And that's something you could get out of a catalog or you could get at the parts store.
So that goes back to like 1910 that they had spinners like that?
Yeah, just a fun thing to have.
I love that. We've never seen one of those either. This is a Cadillac. This looks like wood to me, is it?
Yes, it is. This was a 1-cylinder engine. Cadillac used that same engine for 5 or 6 years.
Here we go, the REO Speedwagon. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Let's see how many of our subscribers know that reference. And if you do, please put it in the comments.
I do like a Hupmobile. This is a 1924 Hupmobile. I remember these from Elmer's. Ooh, the key's in it. We could take it for a spin. This is a 1913 Rambler made right in Kenosha, Wisconsin. (1910) Maytag. It was made in Waterloo, Iowa. And yes, this really is the people that made the appliances. They only did this for about 3 years.
Dodge Touring. This was this one of the very first hybrids?
Yeah, the word hybrid didn't exist yet, so it's called dual power. But it wasn't really meant to go on electric power very far. It was just meant to get you out of trouble. The electric motor is also the starter generator, and you have to open these valves here, compression releases. The motor turns over the engine, so the engine spins free when you turn over or open the compression releases. But they did it this way because it's also a starter, and that's why you could still use the transmission.
That is such a fun fact. 1915 Dodge had a, quote, hybrid car.
This is a Haynes 1916, and what's going on at the time, apparently everybody around the nation is talking about the developments in aircraft technology, I would guess because of World War I. So Haynes was going to capitalize on this, and they made their car look like the open cockpit of a biplane. And those are pilot seats in there. People think they're bucket seats, but they're supposed to replicate pilot seats. And the body, you can tell, is more fuselage-like than automobile. It came with either a 6-cylinder or a V12 engine. And biplanes don't have door handles, so the Haynes doesn't either.
That is fascinating. And now that you point that out, I can see that.
Hey, welcome back to LoveNesters. We're in Iowa visiting an automobile museum, the Iowa Automobile Museum. It is huge.
This place is a lot bigger than we thought it would be. If you're enjoying our videos, we'd sure appreciate it if you'd give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It means so much to us. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.
This is the first diesel engine to achieve 300 miles an hour. And the man who built this lives in West Branch, Iowa, which is about 12 miles from here. And he accomplished that record in 2006. This picture here, this is the British were out there at the same time. This is their car. And these guys were from, I believe, the London area. They wanted to be the first diesel engine to break the record. And they came to America every year, but they got beat by an Iowa farm boy.
I love that story.
This is a 1934 Ford Cabriolet V8, arguably one of the most attractive Ford cars ever built.
Its price tag was $490 when it came out. It would sell for $13,400 today.
Gardner, and they made cars for 11 years. They were moderately priced, a good car.
Wooden spokes, though, those are pretty.
And This was a Velie. These were made in Moline, Illinois, and they made a very nice car for about 20 years. But this is the only year they made it look like this, with the flat panels and the angular lines, the jagged windshield frame, and even the headlights aren't round. What was going on at the time is there was a resurgence of interest in ancient Egypt, which is all flat panels and angular lines, and this car reflects that resurging interest at the time.
Now that is so cool.
Oh, you got to lift up his face mask.
Oh my gosh. See, this is the one I want to take home.
The air conditioner's in the trunk.
That's what this is? This is an air conditioner?
Yeah, the air conditioner's in the trunk, and the cold air comes up through these plexiglass tubes up into the headliner, and then the vents blow down on the passengers.
Oh my gosh. That is so cool.
This is a 1908 Cadillac, but it came with this certificate when it was purchased. And the certificate stayed with the car all this time. It came with a lifetime guarantee. It says any part that fails or wears out will be replaced at no cost. In 1966, there was a man who worked for Ford, and they wanted to bring back the retractable hardtop. The retractable hardtop was not popular. It had 10 electric motors, 6 electric locks. Something was always going wrong with it, and people didn't like it. So this Ford engineer designed this retractable hardtop without electric motors. It has torsion bars, and it requires only 11 pounds of effort to pull it up into place. Ford didn't like the idea. They were at a standstill. The whole idea was dropped. The man retired from Ford, and he made about 35 of these kits. And his son had a body shop. He would install the kits for people if they wanted them. When they went to get more kits made, they sent everything off with a large sum of money to Mexico to a vendor. The vendor disappeared with the money. So only 17 of these were installed, and we don't know how many are left, but this is one of the 17 that were originally made.
The Nash Automobile Company actually started in 1960 when Charles W. Nash purchased the Thomas Jeffrey Car Company, which was known for producing the Rambler. This Nash was built actually in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Most likely the most powerful luxury car in America right here, the Dusenburg. The cost in 1931 was $8,500. Today that would be $171,000.
Yeah, this is Mason. They were made in Des Moines. They started building, Dusenburg brothers designed and started building these in 1906. And they built this so it's chain driven, so that kind of puts a twist in its design. The engine's actually under the seat.
Really?
And it's a transverse engine. That's why the crank is on the side.
Oh, wow.
And it's a 2-cylinder engine. This is a Dusenburg creation.
And this was in America. This was driven in Iowa because the thing
This
seems
was
on the
driven in
wrong.
Wisconsin.
But this seems like it's on the wrong side. But that's the way they did it.
Well, you could put the driver wherever you wanted. You could put them left, right, in the center.
Okay.
Most automakers were putting the driver on the right side, and the only standard they had to go by was a locomotive engineer sits on the right side of a cab. So they followed suit with the railroads because the railroads dominated transportation industry back then.
Okay.
I think, I might be wrong on this, I think it was 1907, Ford started to consistently put the driver on the left side, and they said that was for the benefit of people in cities because then your passenger could get in from the sidewalk instead of the street. And then Congress mandated that 10 years later.
Oh, that's interesting.
And this is a 1913 Model T.
Okay.
Ford actually burned up quite a bit of the alphabet before he got to T. There was the first Model A, 1903, then there was a B and a BC. There were 2 Model Js, there was an R and an S and an N. The Model T is the one that hit it out of the park as far as being popular.
Okay.
Ford built Model Ts for 19 years. That's how popular they were.
Hey, welcome back to LoveNesters. We just got done with an incredible car museum.
This place in Iowa is a true hidden gem. It's a little difficult to find. It's like right in a shopping area, and it is huge. Special thanks to Tom, who showed us around and made the stories of the cars come to life.
A great place to visit. Thanks for being here. Welcome back to LoveNesters.
We are at the antique Iowa Auto Museum. Oh shoot, we can't remember the name of it.